All right, guys, so I'm going to be absent today and tomorrow from school, so we're going to do these. I pre-recorded these lessons, and I have some activities for you to do in Google Classroom. So I need you to get your notebook out, get your times tables out in the back of your planner, or find one online. You need a pencil, and we are going to start learning about lesson 2.9. We're going to do just one lesson today. So write 2.9, and then we're going to write equivalent fractions, and then we're going to review mixed numbers. Okay, you can pause the video at any time and get what you need, and then you can rewind and replay as many times as you want. All right, so I have some pictures of fractions, and all these fractions, the shaded part, this brown, orange, or tan color, is the same size. But the fraction at the bottom is different because these are all equivalent fractions. Okay? In some recipes, the amount of ingredients are given as fractions, and sometimes those fractions do not equal the fractions on the measuring cup we have. Knowing how fractions relate to each other can be super helpful. So the way that we can figure out if fractions are equivalent is by either multiplying or dividing. So if I multiply this top one by 2, I would get 6. And if I multiply the bottom, the denominator, by 2, I get 10. So that's why they're equivalent, because they're each multiplied by 2. If I look between 3/5 and 15/25, I multiply this by 5 to get 15, and 5 times 5 is 25. That's why these fractions are the same size and they're equivalent. Okay, they're called equivalent fractions because they have the same value. So we'll either multiply or divide, which is also called reducing. Okay, we're also going to reduce some fractions today, and to know if your fraction is reduced all the way, what you're going to do is look at the numerator and the denominator and see if there's any number besides 1 that you can divide the numerator and denominator by. If there is, then that means it can be reduced. So we'll do some examples of that. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to find 2 fractions equivalent to 5/7. Okay, and there's a lot of fractions that are equivalent to that. So in your notes, write equivalent fraction 5/7. So we're going to find 2 fractions equivalent to that. So one thing you could do is you can check to see if you can reduce it, and 5 and 7 can't be divided by anything other than 1, so I can't reduce it. But I could multiply. So an easy thing to do is to multiply the numerator and denominator just by 2, and then that would get you an equivalent fraction. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, and 5 times 2 is 10, and 7 times 2 is 14. And you can use your multiplication chart in the back of your planner if you are kind of rusty with your multiplication facts. Okay, so that's one equivalent fraction. We could also multiply 5/7 by 3. Or whatever number you like. It doesn't matter. You just want to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. So that would be 15 over 21. All of these fractions, 5/7, 10/14, and 15 over 21, they all equal the same amount. Okay? So those are all equivalent fractions. Okay, you guys try to find an equivalent fraction for 6/12. You could reduce it, or you could multiply by 2 and then multiply by 3. Okay, pause the video and try to find equivalent fractions. Okay, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do one where I reduce. So I'm going to divide this by 6 and 12 by 6 because both of those divide by 6. I wouldn't want to divide by something they don't both divide by. That wouldn't make sense. You don't want any remainder. So 6 divided by 6 equals 1, and 12 divided by 6 equals 2. So an equivalent fraction to 6/12 is 1/2. 6 out of 12 is half. Okay? So if you did something different, as long as it's equivalent to 1/2, it is equivalent. Okay? Another one would be, okay, I could multiply these by 4. Whatever number you want, just make sure it's the same. And that would be 4/8. So I have 4/8 and 1/2 are my two equivalent fractions. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is reduce fractions. So draw a line underneath that, and now we're going to reduce fractions. So we're going to start off by reducing 18/24. Okay, so write that down. And then what you do is you think to yourself, what is the biggest number I can think of that I can divide 18 and 24 by? And it's the greatest common factor. What's the biggest number I can divide 18 and 24 by? If you can't think of it, then check. Are both of these even numbers? Oh yeah, 18 ends in an 8 and 24 ends in a 4. That means I can divide those both by 2 to start off. So you could start off by dividing by 2 for that one, or you could divide by a bigger number. Both of these can be divided by 6. 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 times 4 is 24. So I'm going to divide both of these by 6. You could start by dividing by 2, you'll just have more steps. 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 24 divided by 6 is 4. Then I want to check, is there anything I can divide 3 and 4 by besides 1? And there isn't. I can only divide 3 and 4 by 1, so that's my final answer, 3/4. If you did it the other way, and started off by dividing by 2, you'd just have more steps. That would be 9/12, and then 9 and 12 don't divide by 2, because 9 isn't even, but these both divide by 3. And that would be 3. And that would be 4. So it's the same answer, it's just more steps. Okay? We're going to try to divide 15 over 45. So look at your multiplication chart and see if you could, or think in your mind, what can I divide 15 and 45 by? I can't divide them by 2 because 5 is not an even number. So look at your multiplication chart and see if you can find what can I divide 15 and 45 by, and then try to reduce it. Pause the video and try it. Okay, hopefully you tried it and you noticed that both of those numbers end in a 5. So that means I can divide them by 5. Or I look at my multiplication chart. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 45 divided by 5 is 9. Okay, then I look, and 3 and 9, I can reduce that more. 3 and 9 can be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. 1 and 3 can't be divided by anything other than 1, so that means I'm done. Okay? You could have started at the very beginning and divided these both by 15 if you knew that 45 divides by 15 evenly. Okay, but I did 2 steps, and either way is fine. Okay? The next thing we're going to talk about is how can we tell if two fractions are equivalent? Okay, so draw a line underneath what we just did and write, are these equivalent? 4/6 and 28/42. We want to see if these two are equivalent. So one way is to reduce them. So we're going to reduce both of these and see if they're the same answer. Okay, so 4 and 6 are both even numbers, so I can divide those both by 2. Okay, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2 and 3 can only be divided by 1, so that's reduced. Now I'm going to divide 28 and 42 to reduce it. I might want to look at my multiplication chart if I'm not sure what I can divide 28 and 42 by. But I know that 28 and 42 both can be divided by 7. 7 times 4 is 28, and 7 times 6 is 42. So I'm going to divide both of these by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4, and 42 divided by 7 is 6. And 4 6, that's the same as 4 6. It's just not reduced all the way. So that's the same fraction. It's the same amount. So these are equivalent, I would say. Yes, those two are equivalent. Okay, you guys try this one. Reduce 6/10 and 20 over 25 and see if they're the same fraction when they're reduced. Pause the video and try it. When you're done reducing it, press play. Okay, 6 and 10 are even, so I'm going to divide them by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. 3 and 5 can't be divided by anything else besides 1, so that's done. 20 and 25 end in a 0 and a 5, so I can divide those by 5. That would be 4 fifths. 4 fifths can't be reduced. It is reduced. 3 fifths is not the same as 4 fifths. 4 fifths is slightly bigger, so these are not the same. I would say no, they are not equivalent. Okay, draw a line. The last thing we're going to do is convert an improper fraction to a mixed number, and then a mixed number back to an improper fraction. Okay, so we're going to start with 13 fifths, and we're going to change that into a mixed number. Okay, so 13 fifths is improper because the numerator is larger than the denominator. You have 13 fifths. And we want to change that to a mixed number. This is more than 1. 5 fifths is 1 whole. So we're trying to change this to a mixed number. It's more than 5 fifths. It's more than 1. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little visual of this. What does 13 fifths look like? So 13 fifths, if you visualize it, looks like this. So 13 fifths is there's 5 fifths for 1 whole. There's 5 more, and then 3. So 13 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 13 fifths, what it looks like as a picture. Okay, now we're going to count how many fifths do I have as a mixed number. So this rectangle on top is all the way filled in, and that's 1 whole. Then I have another one that's all the way filled in, that's another whole. So that would be 2 wholes. And then I have 1, 2, 3 fifths. So 13 fifths is the same as 2 and 3 fifths. Okay? Now, how do we do that without drawing a picture? How do I go from 13 fifths to a mixed number without drawing a picture? All right. So, a fraction means division. So I have 13 divided by 5. How many times does 5 fit into 13? 5, 10, 15 would be too much, so it fits in there twice. 5, 10. That's 2 wholes. That's where the 2 comes from. 2 times 5 is 10. So my remainder fraction would be 3 fifths. So it would be 2 and 3 fifths. 2 and 3 fifths. Okay, let's try it again. 17 fourths. If I was going to draw a picture, that's one way you can do it. 17 fourths. So I have